So there was this bodybuilding competition in my college. I think, yeah, I started around 4 to 6 weeks. So I jumped into this boiled food and I started eating boiled chicken and spinach and broccoli, boiled with minimum salt and shit. This is a very basic protocol of cutting. There's nothing wrong about this. And people do it. People who have way more idea than me do it. And every week I kept on decreasing the amount of food. And eventually it was the competition day. And even if I did all that stuff, I just didn't have any muscle to show for. I was having trouble sleeping at night. So yeah, matlab, it didn't work out. Of course, I didn't win. Of course, didn't win. Like I wasn't around. Like we, like. But the time I just stepped. That's how I felt. This is so stupid. Okay, what the fuck am I doing here? Why am I doing this? I have complete respect for people who do it. I just did. I thought I was. Yeah, but nobody made fun of me. Nobody. I was very lucky to have good people around me, and they were at least up till now. Mostly, people used to recognize me as somebody who works out. At least at this point of time, people were nice to me. Till the till the time I was lean. There's this rebound effect that happens when you cut a lot of weight, and then when you go back to like your basic diet and start working out, you somehow almost see like newbie gains. And I started eating the way I was eating before the competition, and I saw this change in my body. I was definitely looking bigger, but I did not put a lot of fat around it. I felt good about myself, and I was also getting a little stronger. Usam, it was like this light bulb moment. So I need to put on weight, and then I went to Mumbai. I was eating whatever I wanted to, and whatever I got a hold of. And of course, it did not pay off well. I definitely did not look ideally the way I wanted to look. And of course, people around me started then talking about how I've got unfit or I have put on weight or my stomach is out. None of it was bullying. They weren't attacking me or anything like it. They were just like pointing out something. But I actually was feeling good about this putting on weight. But I think the comments kind of got to me because it was so opposite to what I used to get when I was young. I was younger. Feel this just when you get this slight misdirection of like having some kind of insect on your body and you react aggressively and then you realize it was not. It felt like this insect was just roaming around my on my body, but I could not get a hold of it. Yeah, metaphorically, this is how I felt, but it's there. It is making me feel uncomfortable. I almost left working out वहाँ पर because I did not like the weight wala comments, and I stopped. Like I consciously decreased my appetite. Nothing to a drastic level. I think I was getting into movement training, and in the process, I started working out a little. Yeah, but I changed my body again, and I got this very cool picture. It felt good. It felt good posting it. It felt good seeing the likes and the comments and everything. It felt good, and then I became a slave to it. I constantly tried to recreate that picture, and of course, I didn't look as good as I looked in that particular picture. So I was trying my best to, like just like fix things around my physique, and I want to look better and better. I was just working out at home, and
Yeah, that's what I've been doing lately. Wait a second, this bothers me. And I don't want to make this a video about how exercising to look a certain way is somehow bad. And I think if you have a goal to look a certain way, if that's not too unrealistic or too out of your reach, you should definitely aim for it. It's less about the activity of like grappling, wrestling, or martial arts. It's more about how I do it or how I approach it. Surprisingly, I'm pretty shit at grappling and wrestling. And you know what? Like, who else is like shitty in grappling? Everybody else who I train with. Everybody else I train with, they don't have any clue like what they are doing. Same as me. So that creates a very fun environment here. It's less competitive than your Sunday football matches. Also, if I'm training with somebody if I'm like training with somebody who is less experienced than me or smaller than me or weaker than me, which is a rare case, then I put myself in bad position or I just put myself in a disadvantage so that I can work on some techniques or something I saw on Instagram or on YouTube or some tutorial. Yeah, your ego can inflate with activity like this, but whenever it's about to happen, whenever I feel like I'm taking this thing too personally, I remind myself of a quote by John Danaher. Don't train to be tough.
Because they don't train the way they should. They don't train to get better, they train to get tough.
Train to be better. I don't know if it would be the same case if I was going to a grappling gym or going to a place where people are extremely competitive.
You have to see training for what it is. Training is about skill development, not about winning or losing.
The approach of a coach, for the most part, especially I've seen in gyms, they have a very hardcore approach, ki, haan, do or die mentality. I don't think that is quite necessary for everybody who's there. There's so much individual difference among human beings that even the idea of comparing yourself, especially like comparing yourself not even with the person, with the video or a photo that person posted, is really stupid. Individual difference just doesn't come to genetics. There's like, how do you deal with stress? How stressful your life is? How do you respond to exercise, what you can afford, how much time you can afford doing this, how many times you can do this. Like, there's so many variables when it comes to this that kind of stupid of you to compare yourself to anybody else. Having a little bit of empathy for everybody out there who's trying to better their health or and trying their best to sad. See, I understand you are young and you're strong and you're lifting weights and you're seeing all these gains naturally or unnaturally, doesn't matter, because you're working hard. I understand, and you feel on top of the world and you love, sharing those quotes and shit like Iron Warrior and stuff like that. But and it's all good. It's all good and fun, and I understand you're trying to do this because you're trying to motivate somebody. You're trying to motivate people out there. It's fine. But if you don't build a level of empathy and kindness for other people's journey, eventually that demon bites you back. Because the way you look right now, the way you feel right now, the way your body moves right now, or the things you are able to do right now, eventually there will be a time where you lose these things. You lose some of it or you lose a lot of it. You might get injured. Life might hit you so hard that you can't recover from it. And us samay you'll realize, damn, this is how they felt. And I'm guilty of it too. The whole point of getting into this is to improve the quality of life. Then once you cross that path, you should ask yourself, I wish I asked myself this, why am I doing this in the first place? If I just asked that question enough, save myself of that stress I was putting on myself. Having a better body image is way better than having a better body. I don't like giving advice, to be honest, and this does feel like
Oh fuck! I'm so sorry. So sorry.